Overview of international politics. 1. Definition and significance of international politics. International politics refers to the systematic study and practical dynamics of political interactions among actors operating beyond the boundaries of sovereign states. It encompasses the analysis of how states and other global actors pursue their interests, compete for power, resolve disputes, engage in cooperation, and collectively shape the structure and evolution of the international system. Unlike domestic politics, which functions within a centralized authority, international politics unfolds in a decentralized and often anarchic environment, where no single global government exists to enforce rules uniformly. The significance of international politics lies in the increasingly interconnected nature of global life. Contemporary global issues such as war and peace, international trade, climate change, human rights, migration, pandemics, digital governance, and technological competition transcend national borders. No state, regardless of its power, can address these challenges independently. For instance, climate change mitigation requires coordinated policy commitments. Global financial stability depends on multilateral frameworks, and cyber threats demand international norms and cooperative security measures. Understanding international politics helps explain why conflicts occur and how they might be prevented through diplomacy, deterrence, alliance formation, and institutional design. It also clarifies how global cooperation is organized through treaties, regimes, and international organizations. Furthermore, it sheds light on how power is distributed and exercised globally, and how international rules and institutions are formed, contested, and transformed over time. In the contemporary era of globalization and rapid technological change, international politics directly affects domestic economies, national security strategies, public health systems, and even cultural identity. Decisions made in international forums influence trade policies, energy transitions, defense budgets, and digital infrastructures. 2. Key actors in international politics. 1. States remain the primary and foundational actors in international politics. A state is typically defined by 4 core attributes: sovereignty, a defined territory, a permanent population, and a recognized government. Sovereignty grants states the authority to govern their internal affairs without external interference, and to engage independently in external relations. States conduct diplomacy, negotiate treaties, participate in international organizations, form alliances, impose sanctions, wage wars, and represent national interests in global negotiations. Despite the rise of globalization and non-state actors, states continue to dominate military capabilities, legal authority, and international recognition. Their decisions shape global governance structures and influence regional and global stability. Moreover, states differ significantly in terms of power, economic capacity, military strength, technological development, and normative influence. Great powers often exert disproportionate influence over international order, while smaller states may rely on multilateral institutions and regional cooperation to protect their interests. 2. International organizations (IOs). International organizations are institutional arrangements created primarily by states to facilitate cooperation and manage collective problems. They range from universal organizations to regional and functional bodies. Prominent examples include the United Nations, UN, the World Trade Organization, WTO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, NATO, and the European Union, EU. International organizations perform several crucial functions. They provide platforms for negotiation, create and codify international norms, monitor compliance, coordinate collective action, and in some cases enforce rules. For example, the UN plays a central role in peacekeeping, and international law, the WTO, regulates global trade. NATO provides collective defense mechanisms, and the EU integrates economic and political governance among its member states. Although IOs are often described as instruments of states, they can also develop institutional autonomy and shape state behavior through normative influence, agenda-setting power, and bureaucratic expertise. 3. Multinational corporations (MNCs). Multinational corporations operate across national borders and possess significant economic resources. Their influence extends to global trade, supply chains, finance, technology, labor markets, and innovation ecosystems. Large MNCs can affect domestic economic policies, influence regulatory standards, and shape global production networks. In sectors such as digital technology, artificial intelligence, pharmaceuticals, and energy, corporate actors may wield resources comparable to those of mid-sized states. Their decisions regarding investment, production, and innovation can alter geopolitical dynamics. As a result, international politics increasingly intersects with corporate governance, technological sovereignty, and global economic competition. 4. Non-state actors. Non-state actors encompass a wide range of entities, including non-governmental organizations, NGOs, advocacy networks, transnational social movements, terrorist organizations, and influential individuals. NGOs, such as humanitarian and environmental groups, contribute to global norm development and policy advocacy. Advocacy networks promote human rights, environmental sustainability, and social justice. 3. Core concepts in international politics. On sovereignty. Sovereignty is the foundational principle of the modern international system. It refers to the supreme authority of a state over its territory and internal affairs, free from external interference. Originating in the Westphalian tradition, sovereignty establishes legal equality among states regardless of differences in power. However, sovereignty is not absolute. Globalization, humanitarian interventions, international law, and economic interdependence have introduced tensions between sovereignty and global governance. Contemporary debates over humanitarian intervention, responsibility to protect R2P, and supranational institutions reflect evolving interpretations of sovereignty. 2. Power. Power is the capacity of an actor to influence others to achieve desired outcomes. It remains central to international politics. Power can be categorized into several forms: hard power, military force, and economic coercion; soft power, cultural attraction, diplomatic influence, and normative appeal; smart power, strategic integration of hard and soft power. Power distribution shapes the structure of the international system. The balance or imbalance of power influences stability, alliance formation, and conflict probability. Theories of realism emphasize material power, while liberal and constructivist perspectives highlight institutional and normative dimensions. 3. Security. Security traditionally focused on protection against military threats. However, the concept has expanded significantly. Contemporary security includes economic security, energy security, environmental security, human security, and cybersecurity. Human security shifts the focus from state survival to individual well-being, emphasizing protection from poverty, disease, and violence. Cybersecurity addresses vulnerabilities in digital infrastructure. Environmental security recognizes climate change as a destabilizing force. This expansion reflects the evolving nature of threats in a globalized world. 4. International order. International order refers to the system of rules, norms, institutions, and power structures that regulate global interactions. It may take different structural forms: unipolar order, dominance of a single great power; bipolar order, competition between two major powers; multipolar order, distribution of power among several major states. The post-Cold War period was often described as unipolar, characterized by U.S. predominance. However, the rise of China, regional powers, and shifting technological capabilities has contributed to debates about a transition toward multipolarity. International order is not static. It evolves through wars, economic transformations, technological revolutions, and institutional reforms. Contemporary geopolitical competition, digital transformation, and global governance challenges indicate that the current international order is undergoing significant restructuring. Conclusion. International politics is a complex and evolving field that examines how global actors interact in a decentralized system marked by both competition and cooperation. By analyzing key actors and core concepts such as sovereignty, power, security, and international order, we gain insight into the mechanisms that shape global stability and transformation. In the 21st century, the interconnectedness of economies, technologies, and societies makes international politics more relevant than ever. It not only determines the fate of nations, but also shapes the conditions under which individuals live, work, and envision the future.